to the captain's lead. All right, test, 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 test.
Good morning and welcome back to another day of Ultimate Frisbee. From Mason, Ohio, I'm Ben Saper.
I'm Ben Sprung, and we're here with the Captain Seaweeds pregame show. Brown went 1-1 yesterday, and they've got two pool play games today. We've got this game against Minnesota that's going to kick off in a couple minutes. And then later in the day, we've got a game against Utah State. And then we probably most likely have a pre-quarter game at 5:30 Eastern.
That's great, Ben. Yeah, and as we were just talking about off camera, we had a great alumni dinner. Andrew Sheldon helped organize and put together a wonderful celebration of the graduating seniors, and we had some Mexican food.
Yeah, and we had some really nice video messages for the seniors from some folks who graduated last year. That was very touching, and yeah, nice to see. Nice to hang out with the guys. Great bunch of guys, and
We got the warm and fuzzies,
got
so
the
to
warm and
speak,
fuzzies.
from
We got the warm and fuzzies.
kind of living with these guys. They're on an incredible journey, as many of you know. College Ultimate, such a unique experience, and they're really a tight-knit group that's ready to take on day 2 of nationals.
Yeah, and so what we expect is probably two pool play games followed by a pre-quarter game. The only chance for that not to happen would be for Cal to beat UMass. That game is also happening right now, so we'll try to get you some updates from that game, although it's not actually physically near us, so I'm not sure that we'll be able to. But yeah, we expect to bring you 3 games today, so we're very excited.
And with that, we'll get you out in the field. We've got Theo, Ian Lacer,
And just like point the phone, just like point the lever into action, you know.
Yeah.
but I think you could zoom a little. That have already tuned in, we're about to get kicking off.
The opening poll today, Brown starting on D, running down. Field is not. That's right. That's right. Ex-athletes of other sports. For the next one, it's shut down. They've got the around recess to the middle of the field. Now the nice around break flick, caught short of the goal line with a tumble. Reset, break mark flick for the goal. And Minnesota shows the ability to break the mark pretty well on that point, and also shows the ability to get the disc back. So
Yeah, I was impressed by Minnesota on that point. The point block, layout block. I'm sorry, the layout block on the D, and then yeah, really nice crisp offense to get the goal.
Yeah, Brown actually was forcing backhand there, at least after the turnover on the second possession for Minnesota. But Minnesota was able to get off some good break mark flicks and punch it in. Brown's O team takes the field for the first time today. Looks like the standard crew. We've got Henry, Luca, Jacques, Leo, Elliot, and Jason. And it's 1-0 Minnesota. It's the second point of the game.
1-0 Minnesota. Second point of the game.
One thing that we didn't see yesterday, because I think it was very windy, was a lot of deep shots. So really, I think maybe only one deep shot from the O team all game. And we'll see if that's different today, as the wind and the flatness of the field will allow maybe a little more of the vertical game. And here we go. Big outside in lefty pull, caught by Leo, and he's going to hit Elliot going up the line. It's a backhand force. Everyone's loving the backhand force this year. Elliot looking upfield. He's going to come back, hit Leo for the reset. Leo in the middle of the field, about 15 yards off the goal line.
Yeah, Henry.
Swing to Noah. Noah looking for Henry, and instead he's going to go to Jason. Goes up and makes a nice grab. Jason, the freshman.
Nice,
out there on
Jason.
the goal line. He's been very impressive this weekend so far.
Yeah, they're off to a good start here. Looking good in the horizontal stack.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Luca looking good with the gold chain.
Yeah, Luca looking flashy and stylish out there. Disc comes in. Jason looking for Noah for the reset. He's got him. Noah to Leo. Leo holsters the big backhand, finds Jason instead. And Jason, nice up the line to Luca. Luca to Jacques. Sideline yells hammer, knowing that Jacques loves to throw those. Jacques got the disc again, about 10 yards out of the goal line. Jacques, a nice flick to Elliott, right back to Jacques for the goal. And that's a hold for Brown. It's 1-1.
Great goal from Elliott to Jacques after meticulous, nice passing, great throws up and down, good cuts. Fundamental offense there.
Jacques and Elliott playing that little two-man throw and go game. Very hard to defend.
But again, Minnesota looked pretty good on the D. They had a nice layout where they could have almost got a deflection there.
Yeah, tell that they a couple times they took away shots that Brown wanted to take, and really made the Brown O team work for that goal.
So it looks like Emmett's going to pull, class of 2026. The rookie class is looking very promising. Their faces, although, look very young when you see them up close. So for those of you watching over the live stream, some of these freshmen are quite youthful. Good for them.
Emmett's a geology major from Burlington, Vermont. He's listed at 5'7", but I think that is inaccurate. In any case, the full goes up, Brown runs down on D. Let's see what kind of defense they throw here.
He's 6'2".
Yeah, I think he's pretty tall. And it looks like a flick man defense. It's Willis on the mark. Minnesota swings it to the far side of the field, and the deep shot goes up. Emmett's got a chance to make the D. And it's caught for the goal and the spike. 2-1 Minnesota.
I thought Emmett was well positioned there on the D, but that was a great offensive play. Good catch. That guy, the long pants and the hat, number 10 on Minnesota, appears to be that dude.
Yeah, he made a good play. That was kind of that fading back shoulder deep shot where even if the defender's in the right spot, it's very hard to get up and make the D, assuming the O times his jump well, which he certainly did. But that was pretty good D by Emmett, who's right there. And I think Brown will take that. So it's 2-1 Minnesota. We're on serve.
2-1 Minnesota. See who we got out there for Brown. Henry, Jacques, Noah, Luca, Elliott, Jason, and Leo.
Leo is one of the graduating seniors. Both teams completed their crumping. The Babadook is averted. And here's the pull. Lefty pull, going with that outside in. And this time it's going to be Noah to make the catch. And he'll find Jacques. And Jacques got Henry going deep. Throw goes up. Henry goes up strong, makes the grab, and it's a goal. That's a 2-2.
Brown for the deep throw. That's the dangerous play. Jacques to Henry. Looked great.
That sure looked like a set play to me. What do you think, Ben?
Set play indeed. Get the big man going deep. He had about 8 feet of separation and a few inches of height. Jacques was happy to put it up there for him. That's that's Henry Egan, the sophomore, with the goal.
Henry's a big man with a stylish mustache, too.
Indeed.
And it's 2-2 here. 2-2 early in the game. We're on serve. We're on serve. Browns had one chance with the disc on D so far, but we're unable to convert. And we've got Theo. Is that Marty? Yes, that's Marty, number 22. We got Will talking to the crew. We have Adrian rotating in, number 6. We have Andy, number 76. Matthias is in, 19. 30 is Caleb. 30 is Caleb. And finally, Zach, number 17.
Zach Hoffman out there.
And a roller pull is picked up by Minnesota. They'll center. That's Marty on the mark. And it's a zone. It's a zone. Brown is playing zone. We'll see if they try to trap to one or the other sideline. It looks like they're trying to trap to us. And the disc is on the sideline. Here comes the mark. We've got the tall guys in the cup. But Minnesota is able to dump and swing, get it to the far side of the field. And here we come back this way again. Minnesota's about 30 yards off their own goal line. Brown playing zone. It's 2-2 if you're just tuning in. What do you see on this D point so far, Ben Sapes?
I see a lot of the backs of the Minnesota players that are standing in front of us.
Perhaps not in the best spot.
No, but it's looking good. We're trying out something new. Got some fresh legs out there.
Yeah, this is definitely not kind of the regular D team.
Oh, a hammer.
D team, and a hammer goes up, and that's caught for the goal. Well, forced a lot of throws, but
Minnesota with the goal on the hammer.
Yeah, pretty good hold by Minnesota. I think we've commented the average disc skills, the average disc thrower skill level at Nationals has certainly increased since we've played. And a lot of throws seem routine now that were not routine 20 years ago. Nevertheless, the game has not changed that much.
Go.
So it's 3-2. 3-2 Minnesota. We're on serve.
Thanks again to Austin for some great camera work.
Yeah, big thanks to Austin. How many do we have? What's our stream looking like?
33.
33. Oh my gosh.
Well, we better start going for real.
We had a little incident last night with some steel cut oats.
Oh, the steel cut oats incident.
Yeah, I was trying to spread the steel cut oats gospel, and but I may have overreached. I generally, I make them bring them to a boil the night before, put a cap on the lid. I'll pick this story up after this point as the pull goes up. It's gonna be Noah to make the catch. Center to Leo. Brown's in spread offense here. We've got Jock making an in-cup, but we're going to swing it to Noah. And it's a zone from Minnesota here. So Minnesota countering Brown zone with a zone of their own. Leo's trapped on the sideline. He's a guy who's pretty comfy with the disc. He'll pitch it to Noah for a couple yards. Noah will zip it up the sideline to Jason. Brown crosses midfield. Jason's looking. Jason, the freshman, coming to the game from across. Been very impressive. And contact was called, but the defender is contesting the contact call. I believe that's what's happened. So for those of you who haven't played the game with the updated rules for a while, contact is something you can call that resets the stall count without the game stopping. And that's part of the reason why the marks these days are a lot less physical. Used to be that you kind of had to make a decision whether to call a foul because it would stop play, which was in general bad for the offense. But now you can just get that quick reset of the stall count by calling contact.
Jock with the blade to Rosenberg.
To Leo. Jock very comfy, as always, with those blady little throws. Jock's about 15 yards out of the goal line. He'll zip one to Noah. And Noah finishes the play for the goal. I didn't see who caught
Jason, the freshman
Jason.
again. He had a lot of touches in there as the main popper in the zone.
Yeah, Jason was trapped, and you might think he's a freshman. He's relatively new to Ultimate. It's kind of a pressure moment, but he was very calm and collected with the disc. And Brown able to make it a 3-3 game.
And now they're kind of discussing the contact call once again, but now, of course, although Jason is relatively new to the sport, he did play at camp. And so it wasn't, and he played a little bit, but it was COVID, so I think he was dominating at summer camp, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I imagine Jason would be unguardable when surrounded by 12-year-olds. 3-3.
Got a 3-3 score here. I believe No breaks yet?
No breaks yet. Only 2 turns in the game. Minnesota and Brown traded turns on one of Brown's D points. In any case, to finish the seal cut oat story, my method is to bring them to a boil and leave them overnight. And this morning they were green. It was rather alarming. I've never seen that happen before. Austin may have consumed them. He's behind the camera right now, and we sure hope he'll be all right. Big righty outside in pull from Brown, and Minnesota's going to let it roll. They're not going to try to catch that.
Yeah.
They have some hand signs for their play call, and he's going to pick it up and walk it up to the goal line. And we got some jokers on the sideline making offsides calls. In any case, Minnesota taps the desk in. Brown's in man defense. I like to see that. And the wind's picking up a little here. We'll see if it plays a role. As we've got Will on the mark. He's been playing good defense all weekend. We've got Leo out there on D, guarding number 99. And we've got a stoppage. Once again, it's 3-3. No breaks yet. Minnesota's on offense. They've got the disc at about midfield on the far sideline.
But that is something we wanted to see yesterday, see some of these handlers cross over and play some deep points. So I'm glad to see Leo out there.
Yep.
Just need a turn now.
For sure. Stall count rising, and it's a desperation floaty
A big
flick.
floater.
Big crowd in the
They're
end
up.
zone, and it's tipped and caught by Minnesota for the goal.
Off the deflection. Flashbacks to...
Oh, but we've got a call on the field. Maybe a stall. We don't know, but the disc is coming back.
Up to 40 people. So they're discussing it out there, it looks like. I don't know if we know what the actual call was.
I'm guessing that it has to be a contested stall. And I think they're going to play it as a contested stall, so I believe it'll be coming in stalling 8. So Brown's got a chance here to get a D.
Thank you for that.
Get a D and go the other way.
That lip reading from commentator Ben Sprung. He somehow figures out what's going on the other side of the field, but I think you're right.
All right, so it's 3-3. Disc in for Minnesota, coming in, stalling 8. I have to say, the way he faked and pivoted didn't make me think it was stall 8, so it's possible that was not correct. In any case, we're going to do it again. Here we go. He's looking for his dump, and a great layout grab by number 2 on Minnesota to keep possession.
Leo's on the mark. See Oscar.
That's Oscar low on the
And
mark.
it's up.
And the
Minnesota's alone, but
Bob's in the win, and Minnesota makes the catch for the goal. It's 4-3 Minnesota.
fantastic catch by Minnesota.
Yeah, that was a great trailing edge grab. He kind of let the disc get over his head and behind him. I thought he was done for, but he was able to reach back and make the catch. It's 4-3 Minnesota, everything on serve so far. Well, we weren't at Brown's first game of the weekend, but we understood it unfolded much like this in the first half on serve.
And what are you seeing out of the D? Like, the D is looking okay for Brown, but I kind of want to see him flying around a little more. I want to see some layouts, some making some athletic plays on the disc.
Yeah, I agree. We saw a couple layout bids last game. One of them was successful, and I think I agree with you, Ben. I think there's you get some psychological edge by just kind of like just laying out, just predetermining you're going to lay out on an in cut early in the game, and just make them know that putting
We're
their mind
flying
that you might
around
do
out
that.
there.
Yeah, we're flying around out there. Yeah.
Get you fired up.
But that was a tough hold for Minnesota. They had a high stall throw that was tipped, and they maintained possession. So not a bad point for Brown. In any case, here we go. That's Noah going to make the grab on the pull, and the first throw is going to be shut down, but it'll find Leo eventually for the dump. Leo's going to swing back to Noah. Noah is going to hit Luca coming in for about 15 yards. Luca's going to look off the in cut, reset to Noah, continue to Leo. Leo's looking deep and he lets it go. He's looking for Henry. Luca's there, and Luca makes the grab and flips it to Henry for the catch. The old underthrown deep throw. Second receiver comes in, makes the grab. That was a nice grab nice recognition by Luca, but this was not going to make its way to Henry. It's upwind in that direction. So that was a tough deep flick, but Leo threw it far enough for Luca to run onto it. And Brown holds. It's 4-4, or is it 5-5? It's either 4-4 or 5-5. 4-4. 4-4.
And I really liked seeing that. That was an athletic play from Luca coming in there.
Yeah,
making things happen. He could have said, "Oh, that wasn't to me. I'm gonna bow out of the play," but he jumped in there. He said, "I'm winning this
we've got
point."
a disc flying towards us. He turned on the Jets for sure. All right, it looks like we've got the man D team out there. Emmett, Leo's gonna pull. Oh, we've got Jock out there. Jock is out there on D. Love to see it. We've got Morgan representing the 215. Love to see him out there.
Morgan, Emmett, Oscar, Will, Ian, Cal, and Jock.
Cal got a
Emmett with the pull.
Sweet layout block late in the game yesterday, and we sure hope he can repeat something like that here. That's a great pull. Minnesota centers.
Duke is
Brown
the cheer you're
sideline
hearing.
is active. Duke, as Ben Zaper says. And there's the bid we're looking for. Not successful, but you love to see it. That was from Jacques. Morgan's on the mark.
Morgan!
In cut. Another in cut. Deep cut not there. And a turn. We didn't quite hit it, but an incompletion. Jock picks up.
To Cal,
Up
close
to Cal
one.
Up the line. Brown C team looking for the first break of the game. Looks off Leo. Looking at Jock. A nice around flick by Cal. Brown about 30 yards out. Jock with the disc. Playing a three-man game.
Back to
Willis
Will.
And Cal. Will. Leo's downfield. Cal. Unfortunate. Put it out there too far to Leo. To Emmett.
It might have been deflected
It
by
might have
99.
been deflected by the mark.
Good.
That was a break mark throw. Minnesota's offense recovers the disc.
And hucks it.
And an
It's in the
immediate huck,
air,
and that's a turn.
it's a turn.
That was a late release, as we'd say in disc golf. But that huck turned over and hit the ground. And Brown C team gets a second chance with Jock on the field.
And this time they're taking it. They're setting up the stack. We got
Nice
Will.
huck by Will.
Will's hucking it.
Looking for
We got
Ian
Ian
Laser.
closing. Ian dives.
Just not able to make the grab.
So this is a sloppy point. We've got 3 turns already. Let's see if Brown can get it back.
Once again, it's 4-4. Browns on defense, Minnesota on offense. This is Minnesota's third
Morgan on the
possession
mark.
of the point.
Whoa, with the grab, Callahan, goal. It's Ian Laser, ladies and gentlemen. He grabs the dump for the goal. That was incredible, people.
That's the kind of play you dream about, folks. A layout grab for a calendar from number 12, Ian Laser.
And I believe it was the Babadook chant at the start of the point that got people fired up out there. Ian, a 2-year player, he's a senior, second year on the team. Incredible layout, Callahan, goal for BMO. And he's now wearing a gold chain that Luca was wearing. So I guess that's how it works, folks.
5-4 Brown, up a break. That was sweet. That was really sweet.
We saw you handing the chain to Ian. What's that about?
It's the block chain.
Oh, so that chain goes to the player that gets a block.
Yeah, you need to get a block, and then we got to score on that point. So,
Incredible.
Ian Laser with the Callahan chain at this point.
Thank you. Great work, Luca. Some words from Luca. The Callahan chain has been passed. And now it's good to know that the chains have been being worn somewhat ironically. For most of this weekend, I thought it was a new style.
Nice floaty pull. Nice floaty pull by Leo, and Brown C team is coming out again. Up 5-4, upper break. Here we go, man defense. And Emmett on the mark. Big long arms. Cal on the mark. Swing, and we've got Elliott on the mark now. And Emmett's on the mark as Minnesota works its way up the field. The deep shot goes up.
It's up. It's floater. We got 4 guys in there.
And it's caught by Minnesota for the goal.
Great positioning.
Yeah, that was Oscar Lowe defending. We had Leo in position to provide help on the back shoulder, but the throw never got to the back shoulder. It really was a perfect throw, and Minnesota holds. Timeout.
I was a little surprised Minnesota put that hook up because he was well guarded the whole time by Oscar, but Minnesota must have had faith in that receiver, and he delivered for them, number Bandana, 23.
We really dropped that throw in a bucket. And we have a timeout on the field. It's 5-5. Browns upper break thanks to a layout Callahan goal from Ian Laser.
You eat your lunch yet? You just have some snacks?
Ian Laser with an incredible first break that we've seen since we've been on the commentary this weekend. And it's a Callahan layout goal from Ian Laser.
So
incredible.
Awesome to see. That's what we're here for. You know, we're D team, ex-D team players. We'd love to see the breaks, love to see the blocks. Callahan goal is icing on the cake. Awesome. We've seen 2 great blocks this weekend so far.
Our first chance for an exciting call, too,
yeah,
which I gotta say, I was pumped up about.
You did great.
You too.
No, I let.
What do y'all think at home? You know, we're taking feedback. Let us know what we can do.
Yeah, I'll shout it out. What do you think?
But you got the score. It's 5-5.
5-5. Browns upper break. So coming out of this timeout, we'll be receiving. And I wish we had a score update for you from the UMass Cal game, but we don't.
If you know the score, feel
you
free to drop it in the comments.
You can probably check on Score Reporter. Y'all at home on the PCs. And
so yeah, he made green oatmeal.
Yeah, Austin not showing any visible effects so far of eating the green oatmeal, so we're happy about that.
Minnesota's getting their sideline riled up. Hope to return the break. We're hoping BMO can just punch it right in. They've got the wind at their back on this point. We feel a little gust here.
The wind is picking up for sure. The wind is picking up. And it's a right to left wind for the viewers at home. So Brown's going downwind now, but there's also a crosswind component blowing away from us. As Noah picks up and centers to Leo, we've got Jock downfield. Leo is going to find Jock for about 7-yard in-cut. Jock's looking deep, fakes the around flick, finds Leo for his reset, and busts off downfield. We've got Elliott hitting Luca for a big gainer of at least 20 yards. Like to see that. Reset to Leo. Leo looking for Jock. High release. Jock makes the grab. Jock looking to go right back to Leo. Jock and Leo playing this 2-man game. Back to Jock. Layout bid doesn't get home. Jock's about 15 yards out. Breaks to Leo. Leo's going to go back to Jock. We'll see if they throw it to anybody else at this point. Jock looking at Leo. Both of them, I think, feeling like they cannot be guarded. Now Jock's going to hit Elliott for the reset. Nice job by Elliott getting open. Elliott the around flick to Leo for the goal. And that was shades of 2019, 2022. No downfield offense. Brown playing that 2 or 3-man game. Fun to watch.
That was a nice goal for Brown. Bouncing it around, working it up.
So Brown's hold at 6-5. Brown. 6-5 Brown pulling on defense coming up in about 30 seconds.
And one thing I did notice that time was the downfield cuts were strong and they were oftentimes open, and I think that's what allows the 3 handlers to weave it upfield like that when you have legitimate threats from your downfield cutters.
I agree. There was one to Luca that got at least 20 yards, and that was a big, that got them kind of past midfield. That was a big in-cut. So the threat of the deep game, letting those big in-cuts, opening up those big in-cuts, very important.
Now Brown's got some good songs. So where has kidney been? So it's a song about beans. Coffee beans, kidney beans.
Now I heard you joining in. Is that just you're picking up quickly, or you know about this bean song?
Thanks for asking. I was picking up quickly. I understood that the song focuses on a pun between the words bean, B-E-N, and bean, B-E-A-N.
Always out here with that quick, sharp mind, Ben Safer. Brown pulls and is out there playing man defense, backhand mark, or maybe flick mark. It's Marty. Big deep shot goes up. It's Andy playing for 23 for Minnesota. It's going to go up to make the catch for the goal. That was a nice lefty, outside and backhand, probably traveling about 65 yards in the air. And Minnesota ties the game up at 6, but Brown is still up for break, 7-6.
This is one of those times when you got a player on their team like 23 who's burned you deep a couple times. It's time to make him beat you another way, I think.
I agree.
Force that man in. He's got the bandana. He's comfortable in the air. He's speedy. Let's just make him go in there.
Yeah, and we saw him, you can tell he's real comfy out there. He kind of spread his arms before he caught that one as look how wide open I am.
Yeah,
and,
the eagle
I
arms.
agree. It might be time to say, you know what? You're not going to beat me deep. I'll give you the under.
What's the score?
6-6. Browns out there on O, looking to hold to make it 7-6.
And the O line is Jason, Henry, Leo, Jacques, Elliot, Luca, and Noah.
One thing about Elliot this year, he doesn't have a mustache. We were a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie.
But it turns out that mustache was only for nationals last year, and is a look that Elliot himself actually discussed.
Brown crosses midfield against Minnesota zone. Jock zips it to Elliot, to Jason, back to Elliot. About 15 yards off the goal line now. A scuba, nicely executed by Elliot to Noah, to Jason for the goal. And that's an easy hold for Brown against Minnesota zone. It's 7-6 Brown, 7-6 Brown.
And I gotta say, I love it every time I see one of these freshmen come down with the goal. That's Jason. He might be one of their leading goal scorers this tournament so far.
Yeah, I agree. Jason has scored a lot of goals. Lucas scored a lot of goals. But Lucas not a freshman.
That's
Jason,
right.
he's a player that, if he hasn't been asked so far to make high degree of difficulty throws, but if he's able to develop that into his game over the next few years, he could be a very, very important offensive player for the next 3 years for Brown.
Yeah. Put him in the Callahan conversation early, man. You worked for 4 years and steady improvement.
Yeah.
There's no stopping these guys.
No. So we've got Jacques crossing over to play defense on this important point, trying to take half. And also Leo. So Brown going with kind of their killer D-line here. Jacques and Leo out there, along with Will. Emmett, Cal, and Ian.
Let's see if Ian can get another Callahan.
Yeah, we'll see if Ian can reprise his incredible performance of a couple points ago. Here we go. Jock on the mark. Brown up 7-6, trying to break for half. Minnesota resets. Brown's playing man defense. And the pick's called. Just coming back in. Oscar guarding the in-cut. Oscar's got the number 23 matchup.
Ooh. Ian's on the mark, on the sideline.
Leo on the mark.
They want to give it deep again. They want to go deep.
Yeah,
and
Will's fading in, and here it goes. The deep shot goes up. Will's got a chance to get there, but it's caught for the goal.
And now
Another
that one
well-
was 23 on the throw to 11 on Minnesota.
Yeah, so number 23 shows he can beat you both ways. Minnesota's deep shots have been good. They've been well weighted. And Minnesota holds to make it 7-7. 7-7, Brown receiving. Trying to steal half here. Brown started on D, so take half and come out on offense and go up 9-7. That would be the plan, but it's 7-7 right now.
And here's Coach Jake saying to Emmett that he liked that he helped on that deep throw, that he peeled off his man and added a second guy on the deep throw. But as Coach Jake Smart said, it was a great throw from Minnesota. Not a lot to be done on D.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen that a couple times where the help defender is there if in case the throw is floaty, but the throw has not been floaty. And Brown's playing some duck, duck, goose on the O-line. I believe it's a timeout, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Both teams taking their time. Maybe Brown calls timeout here. That's a good call by Brown. Jock and Leo were just out there on D. We want to have them play O this point.
We all know duck, duck, goose is duck, duck, gray duck in Minnesota.
Duck, duck, gray duck in Minnesota. Those Midwesterners are a little strange.
Yeah, I don't get the duck, duck, goose thing, Ben, I gotta say. Didn't understand that. Seems like a waste of energy to be running around the circle in the middle of a game.
Well,
It looked like
you
fun.
gotta hang on to your childlike innocence as long as you can.
True. But duck, duck, goose is hard now if you played as an old person because you have to get up off the grass.
I agree. The thought of playing duck, duck, goose out here in the sun is not invited.
Yeah.
Not invited.
Maybe drip, drip, drop.
Trip.
The
drop.
bucket of water.
Splish, splish, splash. We shall invent that. So the wind is very crosswindy now. It's blowing away from us.
But it's sometimes dead, like during that duck, duck, goose game, not a peep from the wind.
Yeah. We've seen teams mostly forcing, I think, ready flick going downwind. It's a great wind to throw an outside in backhand. Not the greatest of winds to throw a deep shot with your flick because the wind will kind of try to blow it out of bounds. So we'll see what Minnesota does here as the pull goes up. The pull itself is fading and goes out. Minnesota pulls it out of bounds. Jock's going to pick up and walk it to the brick mark. 7-7. Brown looking to hold to take half.
And they've got Luca, Elliott, Jason, Henry, Leo, Noah, and Jacques.
We've got kind of a side stack here from Brown, and it's a backhand mark from Minnesota with a lot of poaching. And Jock is able to hit that reset to Noah. And we've got a stoppage. Brown's handlers impressed me with their ability to connect on resets in tight spaces. And Jock has an equipment issue. And Jock's cleat is in.
Show him how much you want it, Leo! Had to yell that one out. Had a flashback to
exhortations from our commentators.
Yeah.
And the disc is going to come in. I don't know what the stall is. Stalling one. And we've got Leo with the disc as Noah hits Leo. Leo's going to swing it right back to Noah. Noah looking for Jacques. Instead, it's going to hit Luca on the in cut, and that throw was a little too far inside, but Luca was able to adjust and take the disc away from his defender. Elliott with the disc now.
To Jacques.
Flying up the sideline, 5 yards off the goal line. Jacques looking for Leo. Still looking for Leo. He's got him on the around flick. Leo makes the grab, 10 yards out of the end zone, middle of the field. Continues to swing it to Elliott. Elliott fakes the around flick. Looking for Leo. Now he's looking for Jacques. Lefty backhander Jacques who makes the grab. Jacques to Leo. To Elliott. We got this three-man game to Leo. Fakes it. And hits Luca hits Jacques for the goal. And an 8-7 Brown takes half.
Yeah, and I was really glad to see that. Minnesota wanted the break bad. They had their guys out there flying all over the place on every throw. Brown stays chilly, takes their time, works it in.
And Brown does that steal the flip thing where you start on D and get one more break. And now they get to play 2 0 points in a row. They'll come out of half on offense, looking to hold to make it 9-7. So,
And we're gonna bring in a special guest for his take.
yeah.
He's been updating the Twitter score throughout the half. So you have Andrew Sheldon here. Andrew, what are you seeing in the first half that you liked and that you didn't like?
Well, I just nice play. Mostly nice and smooth. I wish they'd gotten a little bit better opportunities for a break. You know, they had a couple that looked like they were going to get and got, kind of given back. It looked nice and calm. It doesn't look like really they're stretching too much. See the look like kind of alternate line coming in for zone a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of suggests that they're feeling pretty confident, pretty comfortable. And gosh, the Callahan from Ian. I mean, play of the morning. Put that on ESPN highlight reel.
Play of the tournament, potentially. I mean, that was an incredible play. I agree. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Andrew.
All right.
Let's get Austin for an interview.
Austin, this is going to be his first TV appearance in a while, so
Yeah,
we're
it's-
welcoming Austin in. Austin, welcome.
It's been a rough morning because of the steel cut oats.
Oh yeah, the steel
Yeah.
cutout, the green.
They were green. Yeah. So any shakiness of the camera, we're going to say that's the steel cut oats. The
Yeah.
green part of it. But no, a lot of fun. Great effort.
Thank you. Well, thank you as always for your work on the camera.
Oh, I do have one thing to say. Someone wanted to shout out to Noah. So
Shout out
Out
Noah.
to Noah.
Tell us about what the team was like in the 90s.
Great bunch of guys. And yeah, I think I'm not going to have a whole lot to say. Just a real, Andrew was my first captain along with Jeff. And so not a better group of guys to hang out with.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Austin. And we're going to take a brief break on the audio, and we'll be back with some more halftime commentary.
Nicely done. Should we switch sides? I feel like,
I don't know. I mean,
is there a lot of,
there's definitely a lot of crowd in front.
okay, let's switch.
on this
Let's
side,
move
so.
then.
Do you want to see if we can get a halftime
Get a better
interview?
view from them. I did ask if anyone.
Okay.
Or well, I started to ask. Maybe I never actually got sent it because I think that was around the time you and cut the Callahan.
Should we ask if anyone wants to do a halftime interview?
What? If what?
If anyone wants to do a halftime interview?
Yeah. Ask him. I just want to.
I'll go with you. I feel bad. I don't want to screw up their program.
We could get like Patrick or someone who's hurt.
Yeah. Looking good, Theo.
I think we should get us playing catch on camera. We should start tossing.
Just like a
That's too funny.
goofy. Okay. Yeah. It's really solid. I mean, yesterday, weren't we in front of the ribbon or not?
No, we were behind the ribbon, but it was closer than this because the fields were tight together.
Austin, how are you feeling? Is it boring to do it?
I'm fine doing it. I mean, I think I could do the rest of this game.
Okay, sounds good. And
Yeah,
then we'll,
I mean, if you're getting any feedback on what, because I was
I'm
thinking,
sure
like,
you're doing fine. I think
Yeah.
there's not much. Pointing
He's
it.
like.
clean the sunblock off of it.
Oh shoot!
Are you unmuted? Here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ken. I'm sorry. We can send you the link. Your alums can watch too.
When he's gone, I'll do it.
Okay. All right.
We
All right.
almost had a halftime interview there with the enemy. Oh yeah. Are you doing the same thing? Oh nice. Well, we got like 50 people watching. So.
Well, we got 20, so we're winning that battle.
Hey.
What are your take on what's your take on the game so far?
Good game. We gotta stop laying out when we're not gonna get a D. You guys need to figure out how to stop our deep shots because you keep pushing us out for some reason. And
is that like your go-to offense?
We're good at one-on-one matchups.
Yeah.
We struggled yesterday in wind and zone.
Yeah. What's number 23's name?
I think PK, Paul Krennic.
PK. He's been impressive.
Yeah,
Is he like the superstar of the team?
Yeah, he's good at. He can throw it. He can thunder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, yeah, you're good. AJ,
All right.
There's no way to stop shot.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah. Thanks, man. All right, we got a little content from our opposing number. We heard that number 23 is PK. In any case, disc is in. Jock to Leo. Leo looking upfield. Brown's kind of going upwind here. Leo, tough reset to Jock, but he got it. And we've switched sidelines, folks, as you can tell. Trying to get a more unobstructed view as Jock hits Jason for the goal. Coming out of half, that's a big hole, 9-7 Brown. 9-7 Brown out of half. That was a very precise throw by Jock. Jason was not that open on a classic cut to the cone for the goal.
Another goal for the cutter. Freshman cutter, Jason Tapper. And we thank you guys all for tuning in to our broadcast. Minnesota alums said they have 20 people watching, so not quite our level, but they're doing great too. Good guys, good group of guys. Their alternate jerseys for Minnesota are produced by Lululemon.
Yeah, surprised to see that.
Is that correct? Yes, it is. They look very soft.
There's a trash talk we're looking for from my commentator, Ben Saber. Soft like fabric or soft like your team is soft?
No, I meant like the fabric.
Okay.
They make good stuff
It looks
over
it
there.
looks pliable and
It's stretchy. Yeah.
durable. Is it durable though?
Okay, we got a strong D line out here for Brown. Looks like Leo's gonna pull with
Emmett, Will, Ian, Oscar, Cal, and Morgan. 215.
And it's up.
Nice pull by Leo. This is the downwind direction. He really hung it up there to the back of the end zone. Number 99 catches it, centers, still in their own end zone as Morgan runs down on the mark.
To get another Callahan.
Yeah, it's doable. It's doable. Brown is out here playing hard man defense. Flick, force, just the classic one-on-one matchups. Cal's man gets the under, about 15 yards off the goal line. Looks off 23. Oscar doing a good job on PK so far.
Yeah. Morgan.
Swing to number 6, Morgan on the mark. Pick is called. Minnesota is playing horizontal offense. 3 handlers back, 4 lined up the field, lined up across the field. Number 22 goes deep, and Oscar helps to shut it down. And a turn as number 6 puts his hands to his head.
That's Morgan with a little hand deflection.
Cal picks up. Was that a point block by Morgan? Awesome.
It might have been. He got a piece of it.
Leo, lefty. Excuse me, that was Will. Lefty backhand to Leo, but it's called back on some picky travel thing. Same thing to Leo. 10 yards out. To Will, 5 yards out. And another call. Brown has the disc up 9-7, looking to break to go up 10-7. Call on the field. Brown's D team is knocking on the door.
Dig in, Jeff, dig in.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Disc in. Will with the disc. Looks off Leo. Looking for Cal for the reset. Nice little lefty backhand. 1 yard off the goal line.
That's a break for Brown.
Leo Gordon with the break. 10-7 Brown.
That's a great point for Brown. Morgan looking like he got a piece of it to force the turnover. And then Brown working it in for the break.
Yeah,
Start the half.
I didn't see the turn. I was watching the downfield action, and Brown was doing some switching. They were kind of playing last back, and I think it was Oscar and somebody else did a good switch. And right after that, the turn happened. So Brown maybe finding a way to shut down that Minnesota deep game.
I see. That's interesting because I was watching the distance, so you saw what was happening downfield to enable the high stall count in the block.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
And that's something, in the future when we've got the production truck and the multiple cameras, we'll be able to show you those replay angles, have the little telestrator, that's what was going on downfield. But that technology is not yet available to us.
It will be, though.
It will be.
We can get our numbers up, our subscribers.
Yeah, we got it. Like and subscribe, please.
42 people watching.
46.
Oh my God, 46.
Browns up 10-7 here in the first pool play game of Saturday. Third pool play game of the day, up 10-7 against Minnesota. Came out of half with a hold and a break. And it's Will with the big floaty outside and backhand pull as Browns D team runs down, trying to get that break train going. And it's Leo guarding the reset. It's Cal on the mark. An in cut to PK. That's Minnesota's main man, number 23, guarded right now by Oscar. And Minnesota going backwards. Now a 10-yard in cut to 22, fakes the deep shot. A nice little break mark throw. Emmett's guarding number 10, going deep. Ian's on the mark. The swing to 2. An in cut. Minnesota's cross midfield now. PK's got the disc, swings it to 99. About 25 yards out of the goal line now, off the goal line for Minnesota. Nice around backhand. Back to number 99. Ian Laser on the mark. Flick force. Brown's going flick man. And there's a nice backhand break swing. A dump and a swing. Minnesota's about 10 yards out. Little two-man game. Brown switches, or rolls as they say. And a break mark for the goal. Minnesota holds 10-8 Brown.
I noticed that time for the first time that Brown's playing some interesting kind of switchy D, like when the other team's handlers are trying to work it up, the guy who was last guarding the mark will switch on to the receiver.
Yep.
Try and jam things up for a minute. I like that.
Yep. So much throwing and going these days that it seems like you need to switch in the backfield as well as switching downfield.
Yeah.
But that was a good hold by Minnesota. Brown forcing flick, which is so the reset, a backhand reset to the middle of the field is an upwind throw. And Minnesota, completed those throws well. We'll see what Minnesota does on D here. They have not had much success stopping Brown's O team so far. I don't think the O team has a turn. Is that true? No turn game so far from the offense?
Seems right.
They swapped on offense. They swapped.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Browns up 10-8, receiving.
And that little halftime interview with the other team's alum, their take was they just need to stop Jacques.
Yeah.
I think he's a big part of the reason why Brown has not turned it over yet on offense.
For sure.
A rock steady handler, one of the best in the country.
Oh, and the coffin corner pull from Minnesota drifts out of bounds. It's almost a pure crosswind now. It's blowing towards us. So, but still a little bit of a downwind component. So Brown is going more downwind. Brown is going downwind, but it's a diagonal wind. Jacques walks it to the brick mark. We'll see if we get any kind of set play. He's going to look for Leo deep. Oh, and a great grab.
Leo brings it down over Levi from Minnesota. Woo! Huge throw from Jacques. I was wondering because he was walking the disc to the center mark with a huge smile on his face. Wondering what was in his head, and he just let it rip downfield. The backhand. Leo with a nice cut brings it down over again. Levi from Minnesota, number 34.
That was a high degree of difficulty throw as Leo was going deep down the left sideline, and Jacques, rather than throwing the flick to the wide part of the field, threw the back shoulder backhand right up the left-hand sideline and curved it in perfectly for Leo to go up and make a play. Oh, we've got a drone over the field. Interesting.
Can we get the footage from the drone as part of our feed?
Yeah. Perhaps that's some,
That's
I don't know,
what we need. Maybe
World.
before we get the whole truck with
We just
the
got the
studio,
drone. Yeah.
get some drone footage.
The team has a drone. That might be ours.
That might be our drone. No need to shoot it down.
Although
11-8. 11-8 Brown versus Minnesota in pool play, Nationals 2023. Brown is on offense, and we've got, excuse me, Brown's on defense. Brown just held Jacques to Leo. And we've got, I think this is the zone team out there. Look for this team to go zone. And that's Jacques pulling it. No, 84. Yeah, that was Theo pulling it. And indeed, we've got the big, long men out there. Brown's going to run the cup. Let's see how they do. Our sideline is the sideline that the wind is blowing towards. So if the disc gets over here, look for Brown to really clamp that trap on as they go with the blade, and that's a nice delivery. Minnesota is about just past midfield now. Working against Brown's zone. What are you seeing on the zone here, Ben?
It's not been super effective yet.
Yeah,
But
and this
Minnesota's having to make a lot of throws, so see if they can execute them.
in this day and age of not being able to be very physical on the mark, it does seem hard to play zone. Oh, and there was a chance as Caleb wasn't able to leave his feet there. Minnesota knocking on the door now. About 15 yards out. Theo on the mark. Swing to the sideline, about 5 yards out. Reset. Swing. Another swing. Little throw up the cup. They're about 5 yards off the goal line. Brown playing zone. Brown's going to stay in zone the whole way here. On the goal line for the second time. And again, they'll reset to the center of the field. Minnesota being patient. Still about 5 yards out. Brown's trying to force a difficult throw. And it's PK with the disc. He's going to hammer to the back of the end zone for the goal.
Kid makes a nice effort on it, but not quite enough.
Sid the kid almost got there, but was about a step behind.
And let's.
So I think we haven't seen Brown zone get much success yet this Nationals, but they're certainly not afraid to throw it.
And it is a great chance to get some of the younger guys, some of the guys that aren't playing every point out there, get them running around and kind of wear Minnesota down a little bit.
For sure, for sure. Always a good change of pace on defense. And Brown's back on offense, up 11-9. Got the usual suspects, Jason, Jacques, Noah, Leo, Luca, Elliot, and
Leo?
I think I said Leo. There's somebody I didn't say. Maybe Henry. No.
Henry. Oh yeah, Henry's out. Is that Henry?
In the blue visor? Yeah, that is Henry.
And Tapper.
They call Henry prom king.
Why?
Because he was the prom king of his high school. Whoa. And let me tell you. No. All right, full goes up. Jacques got the disc. Jacques to Leo in a big layout effort. Doesn't get home for Minnesota. Leo's going to put it deep. It's a low throw, and that is a turn. Leo threw a low line drive too far out in front of Luca. And Brown's O team turned it for the first time this game, but Minnesota's going to have to go the full 70 yards. And Brown is playing a zone, I think. Brown is playing a zone.
Trapping them in the far corner. And they floated up to get it out of there.
Yep, Minnesota's D team is going to have to beat the Brown O team zone. Ooh, and a nice grab by number 7 to keep possession on an errant dump throw. 27 is calling for the hammer. I don't know if he's going to get it. Browns O is daring Minnesota to throw something over the top. Oh, and Luke not quite able to get to that upfield throw. And here goes the deep shot up. Jock, I think, is there. Oh, he's not able to make the grab. And it's caught by Minnesota for the goal, for the break. And that's a huge play. Minnesota's D team beats the zone. They break Brown to cut it to 11-10.
You gotta respond to Ock.
That one hurts. That one hurts.
That one hurts a little bit.
And
but still up a break.
okay, fair enough.
Still up a break as we get to the last quarter of the game.
We got some wisecrackers out there.
Minnesota's fired up. That was a big play. That was a big play. Should we get their reaction?
That was a good play too, because they're going up Brown's, Jock on the D there.
Yeah,
Makes you feel good anytime you can, quote unquote, sky a star guy.
for sure, for sure. I think Jacques was daring them to beat them deep, and they did. They executed. That was a tough throw. That was an upwind flick puck against the zone. It's hard to pull off. All right, so I think we've got the same O team out there for Brown. As the pull floats in, it's Leo going to make the catch. He will center to Elliott. Elliott's looking downfield. Jacques breaks his man's ankles, gets the disc coming back under. Jacques looking deep, but holsters it wisely and calls contact, I believe. Finds Leo with a break mark flick. Leo's looking downfield. Now he'll look under. He's got Jason, and he hits him with the inside backhand. Quick swing to Noah, and a mistake by Brown. A mistake by Brown, and an immediate huck by Minnesota looking for their second break in a row. Jacques is on D. Jacques loses his footing. Minnesota loses his footing, and we're definitely going to have a call here. And an uncontested foul. Jacques does not contest the foul call. Minnesota is going to have the disc on the goal line, looking for their second consecutive break to tie the game at 11. Huge moment in the game here. How did Brown turn that over, Ben?
It looked like an errant throw. Yeah, they were doing the...
And back to the action. Minnesota on the goal line. A dump, a swing, about 5 yards off. Another couple swings, now about 10 yards out. Brown is pretty set in their defense, playing flick man defense.
Whoa,
Front of the
Elliott!
stack. Elliott close to that, but not able to get it. And they do their little switchy roll thing. Lucas on the mark. Deep.
Whoa!
And
There you
a
go, Jake.
great trailing edge grab by number 11 to keep possession. And I think he probably hurt his, he may have dislocated his shoulder. That was a tough, tough catch as he reached across his body with the left hand for the disc moving to his right. I thought
He's
the disc
okay,
was
he's
past him. I thought that disc was past him.
I did too. I thought it was going to hit the ground. But he's going to be fine.
No way.
Yeah, he definitely did not dislocate his shoulder. That was a bit premature by me, as he
Yeah,
uses that very arm to rise to his feet. But definitely a good play by him. Number 2 is going to come in. He's had a good game. He's one of their main handlers. And yeah, Minnesota's D team knocking on the door. They've been pushed back about 15 yards now. We'll see what they can do.
Jason on the mark.
Ooh, a
It's
tough
floater.
swing. And it's
Ooh.
caught by PK. Clearly comfortable
Oh.
just putting it up to him. And Luca's got that tough matchup. That's Minnesota's best player who has the disc right now. He's a confident bandana-wearing guy. And we have a play stoppage. Something called on the offense. And we've reached a resolution, and the disc is coming back in now. Luca's on the mark.
Now Jason.
Minnesota trapped on the sideline, very close to the end zone. Swing, they complete it. They hit a little in cut. Still very close to the end zone. Number 10, looking.
Hammer!
A big hammer. That looks like it's too far. A hammer out the back of the end zone and a huge goal line stand from Brown's O team.
Yeah, they got a little bailed out there. Minnesota couldn't resist the lure of the man in the back corner of the end zone, but the hammer sails out.
Yep,
I
that
was
is.
impressed with Brown's offensive line playing D on the turn there.
Yeah,
Good.
that was good lockdown
Desperate-
defense.
Desperation is a factor here.
Jacques picks up. Elliott a quick cut. He'll hit Leo on the under. He's got Elliott going deep. Holsters it. He's got Jason going deep. Doesn't throw that. He's got Jacques going up the line. That is a tough throw, and Jacques is going to make the grab in a dangerous space. Put up the flick huck, which is underthrown and not completed. Not completed. That was Henry, who's very mad at himself for not making the grab. In any case, Brown is back. The offense is back playing defense. It's 11-10. Minnesota's D team has the disc. Brown is playing kind of a zone. Brown is playing zone here on defense. We'll see if Minnesota's had success against this, hitting a deep shot. We'll see what happens here. Henry on the mark. Henry's still on the mark. Henry and Elliott are the points in the zone. Elliott's on the mark. Minnesota's D team is cross midfield, although now they're going backwards to swing it. Moving up the far sideline. Back to number 9. Swing to number 2 has got to make a tough grab. Maintains possession. Continuing to swing. Number 10's got it. Back to number 9. Brown's going to make him work for it. Swing to number 2. Number 10. Number 10, I think, was the one who threw that hammer. A possession to go. And Minnesota milks a floaty throw, and they're only about 10 yards out now. Minnesota looking to break, looking to tie the game. Henry on the mark. Brown looking a little tired out there. Blade to the end zone for the goal. And a huge break. That's 2 in a row for Minnesota. It's 11-all, and Brown's O team is tired. And I imagine we'll see a timeout here.
Yeah, it seemed like when Brown got the disc back there, they're kind of playing like a D team. They're taking risky throws. Luckily, Zach came down with the one going up line to midfield. It was floaty, and then put it up immediately to Henry. And Henry was guarded by 2 people, so it was a tight window, and we couldn't quite see from here. But if Henry may have dropped it, he sort of spiked his visor afterwards. He's played great so far this weekend, so one little aberration.
Yeah, we've seen the O team at times. You know, the deep game has been there. The handler game has been there. The in cut's getting. Oh, thanks. You know, the in cut's getting a lot of yards has not always been there. My microphone was on the ground. I'm not sure if I've been audible for the last 10 minutes.
He's been dragging. Sprung's been dragging the mic around in the grass.
We are amateurs, and sometimes, as professional, as pros, we might feel for a moment. Always something happens to remind us.
Now, that whole bunch of brown women standing under a tree.
Yeah,
So
pretty
cool.
smart. We'll swing around, just get a little view of the crowd. Parents, the smart ones under the tree. Wait for the camera. So coming out of a timeout, it's 11-all. We're back on serve for the game. But because Brown won the first half, we'll be up a score if we hold. And that may be important, as this game has slowed, the pace has slowed down, and I imagine we may get into the cap at some point. Although I certainly don't know what the cap rules are.
11-11?
It's 11-all.
Oh my God.
11-all.
Stressful. Let's go Brown.
Let's go, Beaver!
Yeah, the first part of the second half went exactly to plan. Came out with a hold and a break. But Minnesota was able to get 2 breaks back, and it's 11-all. Big lefty pull from Minnesota. Noah's going to make the grab and center to Elliott. And Elliott's got a Jock. He hits him with a scuba, cheeky throw, but well executed. Jock's got the discus. The zone soars overhead. Swing it to Leo. Leo looks off Noah. Leo looking at Luca. High release, break, backhand. He's got him. Luca makes the grab. Luca, very steady presence out there. Hits Jock on his reset and immediately busts off down the right sideline. Jock hits Leo for the release set. Leo fakes the backhand. Deep backhand resets to Jock. Jock looking downfield, looking for something. Oh, and a tough one-handed grab by Elliott on that in cut. Continues to Noah. Noah to Elliott. Elliott inside backhand break to Jock. Jock throw and go to Jason. Gets it back to Noah. Gets it back. Jock about 10 yards out of the end zone. Getting yards at will with his throw and go action. Up the line to Elliott. Just not in. A nice around flick break to Leo. Elliott's really played great this weekend, I got to say. That guy's a gamer. He's cross-registered at RISD. And Jock, a break to Leo for the goal. The O team comes through and holds 12-11 Brown.
Great point from the Brown O-line. Nice and chill. No need for these risky throws. Make sure we see what we got out here. All right, so Brown's going to look to get another break here, up 12-11. Shout out to my mom. It's her tank top. And my arms look so swole. It's a woman's medium. The oldest trick in
Good
the
trick.
book.
Good trick.
We got Cal out there with Oscar, Will, Morgan, Theo, Ian, and Emmett. Ian still rocking that gold chain from his Callahan in the first half. We'll be bringing you an interview with Patrick later today, but he's currently engaged in his sideline duties. Excited to bring him in at the halftime of the next game, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll sure be looking for that gold chain to transfer to a new player, because that would mean that somebody made a sweet play.
And the pull is up from Will. It's a great pull, floating, and it's landed. Emmett, one of the best marks on the team, is up there with Ian. Theo's on the mark on the far right side. It gets dumped around. Now we have Ian marking. Ooh. Oh, and Oscar and Ian combined to force a difficult throw and turnover. Brown's working it in. We got Cal with the disc, looking for Will, looking for Emmett. Gets him.
Stoppage. Not sure what the call is, but it's going to go back to Cal. Brown C team knocking on the door here.
Again, Cal's looking. Got Will. The dump around to Emmett, freshman. Looking for Will, has him. Has Cal. Cal on the left sideline, looking up.
We've got a call. It's a pick, I believe.
We haven't seen too much movement downfield as the three handlers, Will, Cal, and Emmett, are weaving around.
Going back to that NDO style.
Back to Emmett. Looking for a cutter. Back to Cal. To Will.
Another call. A push-off. Number 9 is calling a push-off on Emmett, who cannot believe it. Probably thinking something like, that call's as soft as your Lululemon jersey.
That's right.
But it's going to the observer. We'll see what happens. The observer has made some sort of determination.
Shout out DJ Cupid as Brown goes into the cha-cha slide. on the sideline. Cal's got it about 10 feet out, and
Yes!
he's got Emmett on the goal line. He's looking. A high release to Cal. Swing to Will.
Yes!
Emmett scores the goal. The rookie sensation. An incredible handling outfit there, and he puts it in. That's a break for Brown.
And that is a huge, huge break by the D team. The offense just gave up 2 breaks. D team comes right out and gets that break back. Brown is up 13-11 and looking good as we get into the end game situation. That was fantastic work around the disc by the D team handler team of Cal, Will, and Emmett. I think that was, we haven't seen Emmett touch the disc too much to this point. And it was nice to see him get involved as the third handler who's really getting the disc a third of the time.
Yeah, I was really impressed with his handling on that play. I've been impressed with him all weekend on the mark and being a long presence out there, having a baby face when I finally saw his face at the dinner last night. And you just really love to see these young guys coming in with such great skills already and athleticism. It does great things for the program for the future. I expect him to be back at nationals every year for the next 100 years.
Absolutely. And I think we've got a timeout on the field. I'm not sure which team called timeout, but I'm guessing it was Minnesota since they just got broken.
So, Brown's looking good. What do we got, 13-11?
13-11.
And they're going to try and finish it off here with 2 more points. Hopefully they can get a couple breaks.
I believe that was a timeout by Minnesota, but we're coming back in.
It really is amazing how the Cupid Shuffle has just implemented itself as one of the iconic songs of the century, really. Actually, it maybe came out in the 90s, but it is really one of the best songs if it comes on. It's just, you gotta dance.
That's a great reference, Ben.
You love to see it. And I think they just jumped in because they wanted to get the clap. So they said like, and crisscross. They just like start right there. And crisscross. Now everybody clap your hands. Tap, tap, tap. Love to see that.
Speaking of references, if you're trying to track down a difficult reference, I'll continue that. I'll continue that ad spot later. Are you
Emmett with the pull. And again, Emmett's looking for more. He's on the mark here.
Whoa! Oscar!
Oscar on the mark. Back to Emmett's guy. They're looking for Ian's guy, but he's got the gold chain. They don't want to mess with him. Oh, Ian on the mark. Morgan. Morgan's been playing great. Senior, graduating senior. Back to Emmett's guy.
Got 20. They got PK going deep.
Oscar's well guarding him, but he's a leaper. And PK having the day today for Minnesota.
Seems like when in doubt, they will put it up to him, and he was able to. Oscar was, as you said, Ben, in good position, but PK was able to make the read, make the adjustment, make the jump, go up strong, and make the play. And Minnesota holds 13-12 Brown, though.
Yeah. It's hard to know what to do when you got an athletic player like that on the other team. It's just really hard to guard in the air. Try and put your body on them.
(13-12). Brown is coming out on offense. We've got the standard crew out there. Henry, Noah, Luca, Jacques, Leo, Jason, and Elliot. Looking to get a goal to make it 14-12. Speaking of goals, I think we might have something to say about that. We'll continue that thought after this point. Minnesota's breaking out the clack chants. And here goes the pull. Big lefty pull. Brown on offense. Looking to make it 14-12. It's 13-12 right now. It's a nice floaty pull. Noah's going to catch it. Center to Jacques. Jock's got Henry going deep, and he's going to hit Luca coming under for a nice big gainer. Luca with a man on his heels makes a catch. He's got Henry coming under now, and Brown gets a lot of yards with 2 in cuts. Elliott points deep and instead throws a break mark swing to Jason. Jason to Leo. Leo's looking downfield. He's got Elliott in the backfield. Brown's playing a classic vertical stack with 1 dump here. And we've got a play stoppage, I believe some kind of pick or something like that. In any case, we're coming back in now. Leo with the disc. Leo's looking at Elliott for his reset. He's got him. Elliott looking for Jacques from the front of the stack. Instead swings it to Leo and right back to Elliott in that 2-man game. Elliott in power position, but a travel is called. He goes back. Nice inside backhand break to Noah. Makes the grab through contact. Big catch there by Noah. Noah, stall count rising, hits Jacques, and that's incomplete. A knockdown, and Jacques calls a foul. Jacques calls a foul from the front of the stack. I think that throw was a little behind Jacques. He reached back and felt like number 10 hit his hand. We'll see what happens here. Jacques and number 10 have their discussion while the observers have their discussion.
Number 10 has played well despite the long pants.
Yep.
Maybe because of.
And I believe they're saying to the Minnesota sidelines frustration that they didn't see it, can't make a ruling, and therefore we're going to play it as a contested foul. And I have to say, although I'm glad Brown has the disc, I agree with the frustration in the sense that if there's 2 observers, like, they should make a call. There's 2 of them. That play was not in any hard to see location. You got to make a call if you're on the field as an observer in that situation. In any case, we've got Jacques with the disc, looking for Leo, finds him. Oh, a huge layout block. A huge layout block from Minnesota. And an immediate huck, and that huck is going to sail out of bounds, and I don't think that ever was in. I don't think that ever was in, Ben Safer.
That was an incredible D by number 10 with the long pants.
Oh, it was in. That was a great D. That was a great D by number 10 on Leo, but the immediate huck maybe wasn't what was called for Minnesota. So Jacques going to get the disc in on the sideline, about 30 yards away from his own end zone. Brown's offense has a second chance. Leo juking in the lane, gets the in cut, looking right back for Jacques up the sideline. Jacques looking at Henry. He finds Leo for the reset. Leo to Elliott. Right back to Leo. That just hangs, but Leo goes up and gets it. Leo to the end zone for Luca, who milks it for the goal. He's in. That's a hold. 14-12. That's a huge goal for Brown.
Kind of twice there. Got it back on the foul and then got it back on the huck. So really fortunate for Brown to be able to put that in.
Yeah, that was a big goal, and we've had a lot of support. We've had a lot of support.
So I would like to thank Kyle Weisbrod, class of 02, for helping sponsor our live stream this weekend. Kyle is a financial planner, so if you're interested in developing a financial plan, you should reach out to him.
Wait, are you only saying this because Kyle paid us?
No. Well, maybe. But Kyle is a fee-only planner and a fiduciary, which means that unlike our ad reads, his advice is only based in your best interest.
Wait, did Kyle spend a lot to get us to read these ads?
No. He's financially prudent like that. If you want Kyle on your side, check out www.onedayadvice.com/BMO for more information. Kyle's offering free 30-minute wealth consultations for BMO alums and parents. And we've got a Minnesota parent who's ready to sign up Kyle, so it's working.
Here goes Brown, pulling up 14-12, looking for a break to win the game. Cal's on the mark.
And now we got Theo on the mark. To Theo. Brown's looking for the break. Cal on the mark. Now Emmett on the mark. The downfield cutters are swirling for Minnesota. It's floating. And Oscar with a huge D.
Incredible D from Oscar.
Oh, so close to the save.
A lot of contact and no foul call. Great D.
Great D. Will's got it on the left side.
Go hard, Emmett. Go hard. Go hard.
Floating to Emmett. It's out of reach with the wind gust. Brown turns it up. And Cal's on the mark. It's up. And Theo in the zone, but is not there in time. Number 10 with those dang pants brings it in again.
Well, that was a chain-worthy block from Oscar Lowe, but the D team unfortunately not able to convert. It's 14-13 Brown. The offense will have 2 chances to win the game.
Oh, man. And the last couple points, we've known him become a factor again. First on the huck from Minnesota that barely came in bounds. I think that was a little gusty. And then again on this cross-field swing to Emmett, kind of took the elevator up a few extra feet when he jumped to catch it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the offense is going to have to go upwind to win the game here. Up 14-13.
And we've got Elliot Rosenberg, Jason Tapper, Jock Neeson, Luca, Henry. Is that Leo?
Leo.
And Noah. Shout out Noah. I know he's got a lot of fans out there today on the stream.
Noah's a graduating senior, and he also won a BMO marker disc in the raffle last night. So lots of things to Noah right now.
And Minnesota is doing a rowing cheer, which is also kind of sexual in nature.
Fifth pull is up, and Noah's going to let it fall. Pick up the disc, center to Jacques. Jacques looking for Leo. He hits him on the swinging in cut. Leo looking downfield. He's got Luca going deep. He's got Jason coming under. He's going to look back to Jacques for the reset. He hits him. Jacques looking downfield. He's got Leo open. Leo breaks the marks, and Noah makes a tough contested grab as Leo made a tough around flick, and he threw it a little behind Noah. But Noah reached back through contact to keep possession for Brown. Noah's looking for Jacques. Oh, and a miscommunication, and Noah throws it away as Jacques went one way, the throw went the other. And Minnesota a chance to punch it in to make it 14 all. Brown's O team has been here before this game with their backs against the wall. Let's see if they can keep them out. Luca's got the number 23 matchup. Jacques got the number 10 matchup. He's about 5 yards off the goal line. Backhand force from Brown. Looking for his reset. Jason playing hard defense. Oh, I guess a flick force from Brown. Around flick. And Leo was a step away from laying out to get that. Minnesota 15 yards out. Throw and go, but the go's not there. On the sideline, 10 yards out. An inside flick for the goal. Minnesota scores. Breaks. It's 14 all. We think it's probably double game point, although we don't know that for sure. We do not know that. We will try to find it out. Timeout, Minnesota. I might ask the observer. Hey, observer. Observer. Is it double game point? Thank you. Double game point. Universe point. 14 all. Yeah.
Universe point.
Wow.
Brings it in, gets the win.
Wow.
Whoever scores and the win is yours.
If Minnesota were to score here, this would be a moderate upset of 11-7, but certainly we were hoping that Brown would dispatch with Minnesota without too much trouble, and that has not been the case.
Minnesota's a good team.
Yeah, they're good.
They have not given up. They've had good energy. They've had great deep pucks all game on offense. And we had a guy who came back from an injury.
Hey, are you Ben or Andrew?
Yeah.
Ben, I'm Paul Horn. I was emailing you and
Paul.
Andrew. Andrew, hey.
Tom in the building. Paul Horn has arrived. For those of you at home.
Oh my God.
You're wondering.
Welcome out.
We'll get you on the post-game interview. Get some. Here's some old. Universe point. Brown's O team on the field.
Luca, Elliot, Leo, Cal.
Minnesota called the timeout to rest their best players for double game point. I'm sure it's going to be an exciting one. The wind's blowing. Brown's going downfield, downwind, but there's a crosswind component blowing towards us as well. I would look for Brown to do a set play here and try to hit a deep shot. That actually has worked well for them today. So we'll see. And the pull goes up. I'd like to see Henry.
Going deep.
Elliott is going to let the pull fall, pick it up, center to Jacques. Brown's in horizontal offense. Leo is downfield. Leo's coming under now, very open, and Jacques throws it through two poachers to Leo. Leo hits Cal on the sideline. Brown's at midfield. Cal looking downfield, looks off Jacques, coming up line, hits Elliott, wide open on the reset. Elliott to Jacques, 30 yards away. Jacques, it's a backhand force. Jacques to Leo. Leo back to Jacques for the goal. And it's a goal. It's a goal. 15-14.
Win on Universe Point. Incredible finish to a great game. Well played by both sides.
Well, Brown went to the well on that one with Leo and Jacques doing what they do. And Jacques been unguardable on that throw and go all game, and that was the game winner.
Let me wipe the sweat from my brow. That got a little too close there at the end with the Universe Point. But Brown looks like they've been there before. Marches it up the field with great defense by Minnesota. Can't stop Brown as they march it in on the post cut from Jacques. And the goal from Leo, right?
From Leo, Jacques for the game winner. And Jacques to start that point had really snuck a backhand between two poachers in that horizontal offense to an in-cutting Leo. And from there, they were kind of off to the races. But yeah, great composure from everybody on the O-line in that point. And that was a tough, hotly contested game. I think both teams had 3 breaks. And
Can I get a photo of all of you?
yes,
I need to
we're
can I just hear?
And
we've been called into a photo.
we bring you now to the photo op with the commentating team.
This is like,
And
that's amazing. Okay, love it. I'll get one more from you.
And this
Oh,
is
yeah.
Thank you.
so sorry you had
So-
to do that at home, but
We don't have anybody in the team.
Let's get in front of the camera. Yeah, so
we are
exciting game.
The first win of the day. Brown is now 2-1 at the tournament.
That's right. We've got a game against number 17 Utah State coming up in a while at 2:30. So we've got
So
2.5
join us
hours.
again, and Ben. We're going to be bringing you interviews at halftime of the next game, hopefully with Patrick, current player. Yeah, Brown gets the win on Universe Point, 15-14.
15-14. A
Against
score we
Minnesota
know
Ducks.
and love from back in the day.
Correct.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, folks. We're going to end the stream, and we'll be back probably about 2:15, maybe 2:20 for the 2:30 game, which is the last pool play game. And then we'll bring you the quarterfinal after that at 5:30. Excuse me, the pre-quarter after that at 5:30.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks for watching.
Ben.
We love y'all.
I shop at used clothing stores, but I don't think it's you.